The history of humankind is a collection of experiences and stories that carry with them the eternal struggle of answering some seemingly simple questions. Who are we? Why are we here? What is our purpose? Our ancient ancestors were slaves to their natural environment. The day-to-day operations of an individual consisted simply of the acts of staying alive, but our souls hungered for more. Soon the wheel was created. Soon after that, we learned how to utilize animals for our aid and how to grow plants for our needs. By the sweat of our brows, we ate, we drank, we learned, and we grew. In the standards of our vast universe, it wasn't long before we of humble origins transcribed our oral traditions and the written word was born. As we learned how to tame fire and steel and how to bend the world around us to our will, cities and civilizations began to grow. Out of these cities and civilizations came people who desired to wield power. Some people wielded the power of the sword and the state with wisdom and compassion. Others, however, did not. These tyrants rose and fell with the winds of time. This is around the time where philosophers began to look in depth into those seemingly simple questions. Who are we? Why are we here? What is our purpose? Is this how it's supposed to be? The sun eventually dawned on the dark ages and turned into the spring of the Renaissance. Explosions of new ideas, art, history, science, and technology bore the age of enlightenment. Humankind began to strike out and explore our world and fill the empty spots on our map. Out of the tides of a war in Europe came a small group of religious refugees, searching for a new land where they could find religious freedom. With only the clothes on their back, they braved through storms and starvation to gain liberty, liberty which they hoped they'd find here. Soon after, 13 colonies grew to prominence in the plenty of the American landscape. But still, they were dragged into the conflict and petty politics of the rest of the world. Through their trade and their taxes, they paid their monarchs just as all of their ancestors had before them. But as soon as their monarchs' greed began to infringe on their rights and their newfound liberties, they stood up and said no. In a federation as unlikely as it was audacious, these colonies elected representatives to lead them as a whole. Under the shadow of violence and a world superpower, the Second Continental Congress met and formed a committee of revolutionary-minded men that came to answer those simple questions. Who are we? Why are we here? What is our purpose? Is this how it's supposed to be? From the passions of the people, they put pen to paper, and the words they wrote rung out the bells of liberty in a history of darkness. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and are endowed by their Creator with unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. With the power of God at our backs and the light of liberty guiding us. We set out to create a new nation led by laws and liberty. Through our Revolutionary War fought by farmers and plain country boys, we saw the standard of truth. Through a bloody civil war over the freedom of all men, we held our banner high. Through 2 world wars, we carried the flag of freedom to the oppressed people of this earth. Through the mouth of a Cold War, we created international cooperation. Through times of struggle and hardship, we've opened our arms to the cold and tired of this world, because we, the sons and daughters of immigrants, know the importance of a diverse society. On the backs of these founders and the policies they've given us, we have built a better world for ourselves and a better future for our children. We, the United States of America, know the unimaginable power and might of the liberty of God and of the freedoms we fight to protect. May we always preserve it. May we fight to protect it. May we never close our arms to the poor in need of our help or the family in need of our answers. May we stand as a beacon of liberty and light to the people of our earth and of the future generations who will inhabit it. May the words of those sacred documents, especially that of our Declaration of Independence, stand as a testimony of the righteous path of freedom forever. And may we always know that all men are created equal and are endowed by their Creator with unalienable rights, specifically those of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.